Nothing is as permanent as a temporary fix that mostly works. Stick around and we'll get right to it. Hey, welcome back guys. Jason KM4ACK. Today we're going to be doing some work on the truck because I've kind of got the setup that I want in the truck right now, but there's definitely room for improvement. Let's take a look at what we've got going because this is going to be the third time I've changed my mind inside the truck. But let's take a look, see what we got going, and then I'll show you how we're going to improve it. All right, so up on top of the dash, I've got my 2-meter 440 radio. That's the FTM 500. This setup actually needs a little bit of help as well, but that's not what we're going to focus on today. We're going to be focused, and I know you guys are looking at the back of it, but I want to show you this for a reason. This is the 891, and I've currently got it mounted on this LMAX bracket. And that comes right off of the seat bolt, comes up, and then the radio. But here's the issue with this. A patron was kind enough to give me this entire setup last year in Huntsville. So this is the LMAX, and then he gave me some just miscellaneous pieces and parts. I took the system that I was using before, combined it with his, and came up with this really, let's see, I'm trying to get that so there's no glare on it, came up with this really janky mounting solution here. I knew it wasn't right, but it's been good enough, and it's actually traveled pretty well through quite a few miles, but it's time to improve that. The other thing is I've always, let's get the camera turned around here, I've always just had the mic laying here across the center console, and I want to improve that as well and give the mic an actual place to hang. So let's look at what I've got, and then we'll go ahead and get this thing installed. All right, so we're going to be going back with a very, very similar system. The only difference is instead of this being that LMAX, this is the LMAX Pro, meaning that it will telescope up and down. So once it's in the vehicle, I actually have some height adjustment here if I decide that I need that. The other nice thing about this system is it's got a quick disconnect, which the LMAX has the quick disconnect as well. It's actually going to make our life a lot easier getting this installed this morning. To get this off of that mount that's already on the seat bolt, you simply loosen this, pop it off, and then this one can go right in its place. Now, on the other end of it, the business end for me, this is where I'm going to be doing the improvements. We've got the correct mount for the 891, and we've got a microphone holder on here. And guys, I'll leave a link down in the description below with a coupon code where you can save 10% on any of these Lido mounts that you see me using today. They've got mounting solutions for just about every type of radio out there. Whether it's an HT or an HF rig, you can probably find a mounting solution at Lido Mounts. All right, so we've got the radio disconnected. I went ahead and pulled that speaker off. We're going to use that same grip to hold the speaker on the new system that we had on this one. Now, let's see if we can just quickly make sure you guys are looking at what I'm looking at. This clamp right here is what holds that to the seat bolt at the bottom. Let me get that cable out of the way here, give myself a little bit more room. And you can see that we just pop this open, and then that's going to pop right off, leaving us this base right here that we can put the new one on. So taking these in and out of a vehicle is super quick and easy. Now we can go ahead and go back with the other one. The way this mounts on the F250, there's a little bit of tilt to it going back this direction, so it actually kind of faces towards the underneath of the seat. But that's not really going to be a problem because we've got this adjustment down here. So I'm just going to leave that adjustment loose until we get it locked onto this. And guys, make sure this is pretty tight when you put it in. You don't want that thing moving around on you. Let's see, I might need to move it just a little bit more that direction. We'll go ahead and lock that in, and that should give us a pretty good base to work with. I'm going to tighten this up temporarily just for right now and make sure that everything looks good. All of my angles look good up on top. Now, one thing that I'm seeing after I got this in here is this plate is facing too far this way. I actually want to turn it back toward the driver's seat a little bit more, which means I'm going to have to readjust where I attached it to the seat bolt. So give me a second, let me do that and see if we can't make this a little bit better. And I just realized that I didn't even need to do that. That's something with this LMAX Pro series. If I loosen the telescoping arm, then I can just rotate this thing exactly where I want it. Now I'm going to make one small adjustment on the bottom because I want this to come a bit more over to here. And then we may raise that up just slightly. And I believe that's going to be pretty close to where we want it. We'll adjust that out. I'm going to go ahead and get the radio on here and make sure that it's exactly where I want it. And I believe that's going to be pretty close. We may make some minor adjustments to it, but I really like that setup. Puts the radio up a little taller than what it was before and gives me a place to hang that microphone, and then you should be able to see the speaker right down there. So that should give me, got that glare back on the screen, but that should give me a pretty good setup for this particular radio. So we'll run it for a while, and if we don't like it, well, we'll change it again. Hey, if you found today's information helpful, be sure to give us a thumbs up before you head off. We will see you guys on the next one. Until then, 7-3.